Hey guys, have you seen this stuff? It's really good as a colour restorer, and one of the reasons I got this was for the car, because I was fed up with all the stuff you could buy in Halfords to make it trim black, but it was very watery and it would only really last for a couple of weeks, maybe a month if you spent a bit more money, but certainly the cheaper stuff only lasted for a couple of weeks. So I tried this stuff after it was recommended on the car trim, but actually it's really for kind of like paint restorer, like say this, the front door, making it look all glossy and black like it does. But it's the kind of stuff that doesn't sit on top of the surface, it actually penetrates the surface. In fact, one of the things it says on the label is that it shouldn't be allowed to dry on top of the surface. You shouldn't cake it, you should allow it to absorb in, so you get this nice lush natural kind of sheeny finish. And bear in mind that this was done 4 weeks ago, so this hasn't been done recently, this was like a month. So going back to the car, this was also done a month ago and it still looks as good as pretty much the day I did it. And as you can see, it's gone into the surface, it's not sitting on top of the surface, it's penetrated into the surface, and it's just given a natural warm but not over sheen. And this car hasn't been washed in a week, so you know there's dirt still, as you can see, but as you can generally make out though, it still looks pretty tidy considering it was done a month ago. And here again on my dirty back bumpers, again you can still see that it still looks pretty blooming respectable considering it was a month ago. So just to show you the consistency of it, you've got to do these things while the wife's not at home. Kitchen table. As you can see, just taking off a sample, it's quite oily. So I'm just pouring a little bit here to show you. I would describe it as quite oily varnish, like a very, very thin engine oil, but without it being too, without it attracting too much dust and grime to it. It's kind of like a washable oil, if you see what I mean. So this is probably an extreme of an example. Old scratched up plastic bin that's probably been here for a couple of years, and once it was a beautiful black trimmed rubber. So let's just see what it can do with this, and just please excuse it being a little bit crude, but just rubbing the oil in. And if you consider that to be, I say wet at the minute obviously, so once that dries out, that will just kind of ease off with that extreme shine, because I know a lot of people, especially when they apply it to car bumpers, they don't want that extreme shine, they want it to be as natural to factory as possible. So this will dry off, but you can see the difference in the several year old versus literally just done. And I will honestly say you'll have 4 to 8 weeks of this before that really dies off, in fact possibly longer. So I'd say it goes quite a long way. This is a ½ litre tin. It was about £25 on Amazon, and I would honestly say that for what I need, I've done a lot of applications including a full front door and all of the car, and I would say there's probably 60% still left in that tin. That's after doing a full front door and the car once, and then this obviously the top of this bin lid, and I say there's 60% still left. And there we have the final kind of look. just another few minutes in. So guys, this is a great product. If you're after something for your car trim that you don't want it to, you know, 1 week later it looks grey again, you want it to last, give this stuff a go. I'd never heard of it before. I'm not even going to begin to try and pronounce it, but you know what, for 25 quid you can't go wrong. Give it a go.